Welcome back to this week's Faulty Logics podcast. My name is Billy.
This is Wayne.
This is Dan, and we also have a special guest, Gloria, here.
Hey guys.
So, February the 14th, Valentine's Day, there was a video that came out that started blowing up. It's really popular. You might have heard it by the hashtag of HurtBay. Just to summarize it a bit, it's just a former couple. And it's one of those videos where they're sitting across from each other and they kind of like talk heart to heart and stuff like that. But this is just the two of them. And it's about a girl who was cheated on by the guy. And the girl is pretty much asking him questions like, why did you do it? And all that stuff.
All the feels.
Yeah, I already have a problem with the title Hurt Bay, because Bay stands for what? Before anything else, and clearly this is not the case.
But yeah, so we watched this video before the podcast, and we're pretty much just giving our reactions and thoughts to it.
Yeah. Well, first of all, have you guys seen the Salt Bay thing, right?
Yeah.
Salt Bay? Oh yes, I do. I entertain my wife with that.
So why is everything like whatever Bay now? Like it's so annoying.
It is annoying.
Yeah,
I
why
hate
is
it.
Salt Bay Bay? What? Who's he before anyone else too? Right?
Yeah.
He's not for me.
Well, I saw the Salt Bay thing actually after like it got popular, so I was really annoyed
Yeah.
because he looked like a douchebag with his fucking
Well, he also goes by the name of Sprinkle Chef, which I like. Sprinkle Chef is way funnier.
Yeah, Sprinkle Chef is definitely way better.
He was so sexy though. The things he could do with a piece of meat.
All right, there you go. That's why he was called Salt Bay. I think because we're guys, maybe we have that different perspective. Because I don't know. I thought he looked stupid with his little. Okay, so back to the Hurt Bay thing though. I thought it had that same like sad music thing overlay. I was like, oh shit. And then when I was watching it, I was like, god damn. I felt so bad for that girl because the guy didn't seem like he cared at all. He had that like smirk on his face.
Yeah, he was smiling when he was describing everything.
Yeah. I wonder if that was a way to kind of like a defense mechanism so he wouldn't cry.
Defense? What defense mechanism? He's the one that cheated.
Yeah.
But I think he's trying to convince himself to not feel guilty about it.
Yeah, I can see that, but yeah.
So he's trying to make himself feel like he did the right thing.
Or not as much of a douchebag thing.
I guess.
Yeah, because the relationship, she mentioned that she was kind of still had feelings, so it must have been a pretty recent thing. So I'm assuming that this happened within probably the past like 6 months or so, where they had this whole breakup, and then maybe they went on this. I don't even know how they would get these people.
I almost feel like it was one of those things where they might have sat in front of each other and did those like cue cards where it's like, I'm going to ask you this question, I'm going to ask you this question, they answered.
Oh, yeah.
And then it's like, yeah, I did cheat on you. And then this is almost like a follow-up or something.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
That's what I'm guessing.
Yeah, so what you're saying is, so they came for like some kind of different purposes, and then, well, they didn't know what to expect, and then it was just set up in a way that kind of led them to it, and the result of that was this like exposure of their feelings, right?
Yeah, but I'm guessing entirely. I'm pulling a Wall Street Journal here.
Well, I kind of agree with you because they look very calm for the situation, and the girl wasn't really crying. She was just dabbing
just
very
tearing,
pretty.
yeah.
Yeah. So it was just very calm and almost acted kind of
Maybe
feeling.
it's a reenactment. Those weren't the actual two people. And they
telling
just
stories.
got two other people and just...
They were too pretty for normal couples.
Yeah, that's true. They were.
Yeah.
I did like at least how he admitted to like him being the wrong guy, right? Because I thought that was like,
But
Because if he didn't, he'd be attacked.
the thing is, I feel like he's almost breaking up with her by saying things like, "It's not you, it's me," and just things that's not trying to retain her. And I feel like if you guys are breaking up with someone, of course you're gonna try to look like the nice person.
yeah,
Especially on camera.
Yeah.
that's true. I wonder like if that was an act or if it like because after like long breakups, like you do generally get that feel like, oh, it was more me, right? Because if long breakups occur, like you have a lot of time to reflect and think about it, but it is a very good tactic to kind of deflect and like make yourself the bad guy so that you're more relatable to everyone else too.
There's also banging chicks.
Yeah,
Left and right.
exactly. Like, because he was dating her, he cheated on her a lot, and the only way to get out of that on camera is to say like sentimental things.
Or he shouldn't have gone on camera.
well, yeah, maybe
like-
he got Wall Street Journal. You know,
Like, what compelled him to actually go on screen to
Oh.
describe all this?
I just thought of it. You know, evolution-wise.
We can edit that.
Maleficent.
So they did it with fish. Female fish feel more attracted to male fish if they see other females around the male fish. So what he's doing here is sort of showing all the female population, I get to bang all those chicks, and I have a girl who still wants to be with me after all that.
And he's
So
pretty good
look
looking too.
Yeah.
Whoa,
So-
Dan. Whoa.
Yeah,
He's not bad.
That's
He's
really
not
that's
bad.
very
Yeah.
subjective. I don't think he's that great.
The other
He's
thing
alright.
too is like I feel like for some reason girls are attracted to these kind of bad guys,
Douchebags, yeah.
even though they know that they're gonna
I
get
kinda-
hurt.
But why?
And it's
Gloria,
kinda
are you
like-
attracted to those?
I mean, I can see the appeal of it.
I don't.
So you guys aren't attracted to bad girls?
I am.
I don't.
I know.
Right? Right.
I was like, I totally understand the, like, because I was very attracted to like very difficult, high maintenance girls.
Why is it because you think you can fix them?
I don't know what it is. I think there's just this weird innate feeling inside where you kind of want. Yeah, I actually don't know what it is.
So you
It's
have,
just difficult.
you have a chick mentality. Like, I can't change her mind.
Yeah.
And it was like, remember, like I think a few years ago they had that criminal that looked really good. His like mugshot.
Oh,
Yeah, he's
yeah.
a model
Yeah,
now.
Everyone loved him. They're like, oh, this guy's the hottest.
He's a
guy. I wanna
model now.
have his-"
Have you seen his?
Yeah, he's a model now.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, oh, I want to have his babies and everything like that. I was like, dude, he's a criminal.
He looks. He
But
looks
nobody
like a cholo.
cared.
Yeah. Well, he's the guy that with the shaved head and the light
Yeah.
blue eyes, right?
Yeah,
That
yeah,
guy?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
He's got a fucking teardrop tattoo.
Yeah,
for
teardrop
God's sake.
tattoo.
He's murdered some people.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with people, man.
They do it with all the fucked up people. Like, what's that guy named the Boston Marathon kid?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember.
Like something Sharonov. They're fucking tweets out there saying he's too cute to be guilty.
The Boston Bomber.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
People these days.
Yeah.
My God.
Speaking of like recent things as well too. Have you guys seen that Cash Me Outside girl?
Yeah, man, that girl's fucking hilarious. Catch me outside. How about that?
And you know what's so weird too? It's also the same thing where like we glorify these like dudes that are douchebags, and then now she is being glorified as well as like she's like famous on the internet and everyone loves her for some reason.
Wait, what video is this?
I've never watched it.
She was on Dr. Phil for like being disorderly and everything with her family. She's always getting into fights with her parents and stuff, and they're trying to like put her into a correctional facility, and she's like arguing with the audience on Dr. Phil, and it's pretty much like she told the audience to cash me outside. And then yeah, she talks like it's a white girl, and she talks like she's ghetto, right?
Like very ratchet.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
and
was
just
so ratchet.
recently she went into the rehab and she came back out and she went back onto Dr. Phil as a follow-up, and she's like, oh, you're nothing, you were nothing before I came onto your show. And like, yeah, she's
Wow,
she's
she
famous
is
everywhere
so
now.
Wait, why
Full
she
of
even go on
herself.
Dr. Phil?
She's
Is she,
13.
Like,
What? She?
Yeah.
that's
Nah,
13.
She's 13, yeah.
She's in
Wow.
Kodak Black. I think it's Kodak Black. I don't know. She's in the music video now. She has her own clothing line that says "Cash Me
Wow.
Outside." Like,
Okay,
she's
but
making bank.
I have to admit, she is a douchebag, but she knows business well. Or whoever her manager thing is, they handle that excellently.
her mom.
Yeah, they took a bad situation and went with it.
Is this the fucking trend now? Because first was Honey Boo Boo and now this?
Well, Honey
Like-
Boo Boo is different. Like,
Because they're just trying to find the most, like, messed up kid, and then the parents try to make money off it.
yeah.
Basically,
Well, if
yeah.
they can, why not? Right? I guess
Right.
if they're in that situation, because the video that they showed, like, they weren't like wealthy, crazy. They looked like average people, right? So if you have a chance and your daughter is everywhere in the media, why not sell some T-shirts, right? Like, make some money, right?
It's true. And she's getting a lawsuit because she kind of copied the Champion logo. You know that
And
clothing
Champion
brand?
logo is actually just Champion.
Yeah, with the C, the C
'Cause
with
spelled
the
as champion.
colors, and
Yeah.
she used the same C, and then it says "Cash Me Outside."
What do you mean save C? C's a C.
It
Because
has like a weird color to it. Like if you Google it or
I
whatever.
thought it was just a C.
But yeah, it's weird that our society right now glorifies people like that.
Yeah, because it fucking makes money, right?
Yeah, but then there's people out there trying to do good, and they're like struggling so hard to try to do good.
Back to people dating bad guys and guys being attracted to bad girls. Like, do you guys like know any friends or anything like and try to like reason out why they would try to do that? Like, what is it about? Like,
I don't know, Billy. Why are you attracted to bad girls?
I don't know. I don't necessarily think I'm attracted to bad girls. I'm just attracted to difficult girls.
So
Which is
the
different.
problem child, though.
Because no, you know what it is? Maybe because okay, so you know that like nice guy mentality, right? Like everyone's
guys
like,
finish last?
yeah, exactly. Why do nice guys finish last and all this stuff? Because like they're boring, right? That's essentially what it is. Is that, and they also have this like it's not like clinginess, but it's like this. You can like smell this. I don't know, desperation.
Desperate, yeah.
Right. You can feel that, and when you're dating
The
someone,
need
who's-
for approval.
yeah, that the need for approval is so goddamn annoying. And when you're dating someone who's difficult, when you're dating someone who is bad, they don't have that, right? They're always it's kind of the opposite situation is flipped, right? Where
You want to be approved by them.
yeah, and I think that's also like a part of it, right? Because that feeling I had for dating like difficult people was when I was younger, right? Now I don't want that because I don't have time and patience for that, right?
I think not just that, but I do agree with that, the approval seeking part. But so you got the nice guy, you got the average guy, and then you have the bad guy. And I think bad guys, in a sense, it kind of takes you out of the mundane stuff.
Yeah, the comfort zone.
Yeah.
So
like
you're
see
trying to have an
someone-
adventure.
Almost through them, by not doing anything yourself, but through them, it's some sort of thrill in your life that is that's normal and boring right now.
Yeah, that's true. Because a lot of us get into like a routine, right, where we just go to school, go to work, do this stuff, right, and there's nothing like exciting that happens, right? So when you see someone, or you meet someone that can like invigorate you and want to like go out, stay out at 3 a.m. for some
Yeah.
random reason, and then you normally just don't do that, right? You normally sleep at 9 p.m.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden this happens, and like I think on a regular basis, if you are someone who's strict to routine, doing something outside the comfort zone feels like a chore. But when you meet someone, it's not a chore. It's like exciting, right? It's like a thing you want to do instead of like a thing you have to do.
But at the same time, you're still like, I think people realize that there's a high potential of like
Of hurt.
yeah.
Yeah.
But they still like the thrill of it, or they're willing to put themselves through that for some reason. I don't know. I don't understand that mentality of it.
I think it's the high risk, high reward thing. It's
No, wait,
like
but what will reward is like, what's their objective when they're trying to get into this type of relationship?
Well, it's like, what's your objective for eating all those chocolates and pizza?
Gloria,
It's
we
just
can't
to
say
enjoy
shit like that on here.
I mean, what's your objective for eating a lot of junk food? It's just, you just do it because you enjoy it. You know it's bad for you, but you just keep on doing it.
Yeah.
Shit, Gloria just blew my mind.
yeah, man.
That's what she does, dude.
Wayne's gonna go on a diet now. And he's gonna come back. He's like he's super skinny. No, but it is very interesting though. Like, what is like the point of having like? Because there's no like actual goal that.
Yeah, because
right?
you don't expect to have an ending with those type of people, right? That's
Yeah.
I'm assuming. Because I'm assuming most people want to have not an easy life, but something they feel like accomplished, right? So why get into a situation like that when you know it's not gonna end well?
I think is like there's a side of you that wants to be a logical thinker, and there's a side of you that wants to be an emotional thinker, right? And there's always like a balance between the two. And when you're living life too routinely, you do a lot of logical thinking, right? And you have this craving to want to do something impractical, to do something irrational, right? So your emotional thinking goes like, this feels good. I want to do the thing that feels good instead of always doing the thing that is okay, right? Because logical thinking is always just okay. So you want to go like crazy, right?
That was a very logical but correct description.
Anyways, Billy, let's say if you were a relationship advisor, how would you advise a guy to handle the situation? Not the girl, the guy.
The guy? Ooh, you threw a curveball. You tricked me. The guy? Oh man, I think the guy.
Well, first of all, what's his objective?
Bang as many chicks as you can.
That's his objective.
Yeah, because that's what you
Oh,
did.
okay.
All right.
All right.
Without getting caught, I guess. I don't know what he did.
Okay,
wrong.
let's go over both objectives then. Let's go over like he wants to actually sincerely make it up, and then I'll go over yours first, which is he wants to bang a lot of girls, right? So him wanting to bang a lot of girls, I think he actually accomplished that by sympathizing with her, right? He used a very good strategy, which was bringing himself down, saying that he was at fault, so that girls now know he's exciting, he's sentimental, and he's relatable, right?
So you're pretty much saying what's that saying called? You could always say sorry later or something like that.
I don't no idea what you're trying
No,
to
so
say.
it's like do whatever you want now. You can always say sorry later.
You can own up to it later on, right?
Yeah. So pretty much that's what you said.
Yeah, I think he did a very good job.
I think the only thing that he missed out on was staring right into the camera and winking.
It's like, gotcha! Yeah, don't you think he accomplished that though, Gloria? Like, he basically sold himself in such a good way, right? Like, he comes off so well in that. If you weren't, like, sitting there analyzing him, like, oh yeah, maybe this is fake, maybe this is not fake, right?
But you know what? All the comments were still against him, right? For that video?
Oh,
I
of
think so,
course.
yeah.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Wow.
Because if anyone was on his side,
Yeah, that's
It would've
true.
been a
They're gonna, yeah.
And plus
True.
the fact that she is good looking as well too. Everyone was like, why would you cheat on her and stuff like that.
Which, that
So-
statement in itself is, it's just wrong.
Yeah, it's very
Yeah, Dan, it's wrong.
physical and materialistic or whatever you want to call it.
Mhm.
But what about from the girl's perspective? Do you think like that was enough for her to be able to finally move on about it? Because she seemed pretty bothered.
You
by
know
the
what? As a
whole
girl,
situation.
I think she made a mistake by
Yeah.
doing it public. Because I don't know about guys, but as girls, you don't want to be the one that everyone feels sorry for.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, it really hurts the pride.
That's true. Cause like she's already in a vulnerable state, and having other people like when you're already upset, and then you have people coming towards you, it's like, "Are you okay? Are you
Yeah.
okay?" It just makes it worse, right? It's like just leave me alone, and then I'll recuperate, and then you can ask me if I'm okay, right? But yeah, she did look like she was in a sensitive spot.
And now her phone's being blown up by all the people in her friend zone.
The friend
No,
zone.
you know what I have an issue with? Okay, because the guy did say he has an issue with that commitment. Why even bother to put himself in this situation, like getting into a relationship, if his plans were to just bang a whole bunch of chicks, right? He could have saved him saved himself a lot of headache if he just kept that lifestyle like a Tinder type of lifestyle, where all he does is swipe right on every girl and then see who matches, and then
But if he's in a
Do the dirty.
relationship, he has like a steady side girl that he can always go
yeah,
back
that's
to.
true.
He's just a greedy
but,
guy.
But the
Yeah.
thing is, he's still able to get with all these other girls. I'm assuming.
Yeah,
a lot.
yeah.
I think there's also a mutual benefit too, because they were living in the same apartment complex, and then eventually I think they started living together as well.
Okay.
Ooh.
And I think
Yeah.
she's caught him in the same room, or she came back to him cheating on her,
Well, he
and
probably
he told her
forgot
to
which
get
place
out.
he lived at.
No, they were living together, and he told her to get out.
Wow, he told her to get out.
Yeah.
Damn, this guy is crazy. Damn, that girl is crazy for going back.
Right?
Yeah.
Madness, man.
So, does anyone recall the chief? Were they still together after she found out?
For a while, yes.
But why? Why?
It's understandable.
That's the question, because he even asked the question, why did you stick around?
Yeah, you know what? When I heard that, it's basically saying it's your fault that you're hurting.
That's
What-
like no,
That's
but
what it
that's
feels
victim
like.
blaming. Like
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's blaming
He was
her.
victim
Oh, yeah,
blaming.
and he did it
yeah.
all to herself. It's like, you
Yeah.
should have ditched me, but I gave you the opportunity, but you stuck with me, so too bad.
What did she say?
Well, I don't think she said anything.
yeah, she was probably like,
I wasn't really
shit,
listening.
It's true, but like at that moment, like imagine like being her in the situation where because she looked like she was like head over heels for him, right?
Yeah.
So you're like super in love with this person.
But
this
he
person
wasn't that
cheats
good
on you.
looking.
He
Yeah,
was pretty
but
good.
He was all right. He looked
Yeah,
like a
Dad.
basketball player.
you tell him, Dad.
Anyways, there's another guy that got cheated on. Flip the script a bit. He got a letter sent to him. It was like a 4-page letter or something like that, with an apology. But the apology wasn't really a sincere apology. It was almost kind of like beating around the bush as well too, and kind of trying to brush the blame aside. And he ended up replying to the letter by grading it like a high school teacher and sending it back with a 61% out of 100. I thought that was a really comedic way in resolving it. Would you guys have done the same kind of thing?
Fuck no, that's so much work.
Well, it's 4 pages. That's a lot to read through.
I bet you this is what happened. The guy's some sort of a creative writer type of guy. She tried to impress him with her creative writing skills.
And he
And
graded
then,
her
and
back.
then he's like, yo, you suck. We can't. Good thing we've broken up.
But he had to have read through it just in case it was sincere, right?
I'd be more
Like,
pissed off before I got the letter if that was me in the situation.
if it was sincere, would you consider taking it
Well,
back?
hold on. It was an insincere 4-page handwritten
Right.
letter, though.
That's
So that's
pretty-
still commitment right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's a lot of. That's impressive. You still after 4 pages and still be insincere. I'm pretty amazed by that.
That's a lot of mental conflict.
Yeah, I wonder if someone wrote you guys it was actually sincere. So this person cheated on you. You guys were like, okay, let's set the scenario. So you guys are dating for many years, right? You guys
Yeah.
had a good relationship. This person cheated on you. They just they say they just messed up. They don't know what happened, and then they apologize a lot. You guys had a bad breakup where you could just split off, and then they sent you a letter, handwritten letter, a month later saying, I'm really, really sorry, and then all this meaningful stuff that you guys went through.
And
So-
it's actually sincere.
Yeah,
and
it's
legit.
actually sincere.
So you're saying I got this 4-page report
Yeah.
straight to the garbage.
So you're not even gonna read it at all.
Yo, if she cheated on me and I have no plans of getting back together, what's 4 pages gonna do?
I know, but you're
It's just gonna piss me off even more.
because you're the one who got cheated on, so you didn't have a clean cut from it, right? You're the one who still is kind of scarring and suffering, so you don't know how you're gonna feel at that time, right? You might be thinking about.
I'm not
them all
gonna
day
feel
still.
like I want to read 4 pages, right?
Even if you love her a lot
Yeah.
and you want to know why she did it.
Good
So-
question, Gloria.
So let's say, yeah. Okay. So wait. So let's set it up. So your wife cheated on you.
Oh, whoa, whoa. Wife is different. That's
Yeah, you have to say girlfriend.
legally
Fine, your
different.
girlfriend. Fine, whatever.
Okay.
Your girlfriend. Imagine the same person now, cheated,
Yeah.
said sorry. Things like that happen. A month later, a letter comes.
You see teardrops on the letter, the ink is blotched.
Oh yeah.
Oh, depends on my proximity to a garbage can.
All right, forget Wade. All right, Gloria, what would you do?
This is all theoretical because it never happened to me before.
Right.
But
I hope so.
It's like hint, hint. You know,
But
letter. Thanks.
if I really love the guy, I'll give him a second chance after the letter. But I have this thing where everything has to be fair.
Yeah.
So I will have to cheat on him myself.
Wow. Wow, you're one of those
I
people.
was thinking if he did it again, he'll have to write 8 pages to get back.
Wow.
And I'll explain to him my why I'm doing it, and I'll do it, and then we're good.
Really? You think
But-
you can be good after that, though? Like, after that, such a traumatic thing? Like, because now, like, not only are you scarred, but he's also scarred.
No, wait,
which is
what
fair, but...
what if the day you cheat, the day you got?
My mom's friend did that,
What if
Oh, for real?
and I was her husband, and they had a kid.
this this mentality makes him be like, okay, well, if I cheat again, I can just let her cheat again.
Well, second time it's a different
Fool me
story.
once,
Yeah,
shame on me.
yeah.
Yeah.
Shame on you.
Shame on you, yeah, and then fool me
Fool me
twice,
twice,
shame on me. Yeah. That's interesting.
For me, I think regardless of what it is, I'm too curious. I will want to read it.
Mhm.
But what I do about it afterwards,
Yeah.
I don't know. It really depends on how sincere it is. But it is that fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me thing, where I don't think it's going to be super hard for me to trust that person a second time. And from personal experience as well, too, something did kind of happen in regards to that. And my family members were like, no, you cannot go back together with her at all. Like,
Wow, when your family gets involved, that's like some heavy shit. When your family's like, no, don't do it.
yeah.
Damn.
But then, like, in my head, I'm like, but what if they changed?
Yeah, I know. There's always that, but what if, right?
Yeah, but what if they changed? And it's like, will my family accept them afterwards? Or will I be, like, shunned from the family or something?
You're like exiled forever.
It's like,
Yeah. And especially if she cheated again. It's like,
Oh.
then your family's like, you fucking idiot.
that
Who
must
told
be
you
like,
so?
but that ass.
But that ass.
That ass.
Yeah, that's such a hard situation to be in. I honestly...
Oh wait, but yo, what the fuck? What about you?
What about me?
You,
Oh,
you just asked us all. What about
Trying to
you?
get out of it.
fuck,
Yeah.
man.
So your girlfriend cheated on you, gave you a 4-page report.
Yeah, no.
with,
I'm-
like, you
I'm
know-
walking away.
Would you even read it?
I would read it. I would definitely read it. I might reply to it too, but I think, definitely not get back together with him. But I would read it.
Him?
No. Sorry. Did I say him?
I think you said them, but it sounded like him.
Them. All right, whatever.
I don't know which.
I'll
one's
give you the
worse.
benefit of a doubt.
Yeah. All right. So I would. Yeah, I would definitely read it. I would almost. Yeah, I would most likely reply to it, but I would not reply to the reply.
Hey, you know what you do? Just write back. Thank you.
Like,
See how much I'll piss her off.
you might reply to it just as a closure to just be like, okay, cool, I got your side of the story, but
Yeah, because I know for
Makes
for-
no difference.
Yeah, so for me, I know I can move on a lot easier than probably them. So that's why they are writing the letter. So because the letter is for them, like realistically, the letter is not for you, right? The letter is for them to get closure about you. So
Wait.
you give them that closure and tell them to stop bothering
Another
you.
scenario,
That's true.
okay? You get this 4-page letter.
Mm-hmm.
You put it onto like submit whatever.com.
Turn it in.
Yeah, turn.com and finds out like 98% of it was plagiarized. How pissed would
Oh
you be?
man, if it was plagiarized, I'll be like, damn.
Like you just go back, really?
Then I
you have
think
to screenshot it too.
yeah, I don't know. But if it's plagiarized, I gotta post that. Like I think
Fuck out of here.
if it's 96% plagiarized, I gotta be like seriously. And it was handwritten, so they hand like written like
With like fake teardrops
yeah,
and blotches.
yeah, they copied. Oh my god. Yeah, that's just like you gotta like you just walk. That's just like all right. Thank you for this absolute closure. I'm walking away.
That's pretty lazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on. Let's go. Okay, so we have a story about it's a local story.
Local to Toronto.
Ajax, to be
Ajax,
specific.
GTA.
A woman who is working in a fraud detection agency was caught being involved with like 14 other members, and they were like creating fake credit cards, fake checks, and everything like that. And they got arrested for about $8 million in money laundering.
That happens a lot.
And the thing is, like, I think the fact that it happened was because there was somebody that was in the industry. They kind of knew the system, and maybe just one person.
Aren't you in
right?
the insurance industry?
In the insurance industry, but not like fraud detection. But
Oh,
we
okay.
do have like things that we are really suspicious about when clients talk to us or ask us about certain things. It kind of throws up a red flag. But yeah, like this is pretty crazy, and I just feel like maybe they let too many people in their ring.
Yeah. So how did they get caught first?
That's a good
Probably
question.
someone said, "Where's my money?"
Oh, so what happened was somebody tried to cash in a check, a fraudulent check, and because of that, there was an investigation that got opened up with similar stuff, like other businesses who were getting fraudulent checks and like credit cards and everything like that, and they all tracked it back to this person and all the other people related to it in this ring.
Yeah. So some guy fucked up,
Yeah.
basically.
No, but you know what? This shit happens so often. Because there was another story not too long ago. This couple was able to take out a mortgage on someone else's house.
Wow.
This was, I think it's in Toronto or somewhere nearby. It's like,
What would you do if you were able to do that? Take a mortgage on someone else's house? Would you?
I make sure it's a big house.
Would you be quiet about it though, or would you tell the
Well,
bank?
wait. I'm the one who's taking out a mortgage on someone else's house.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm gonna be quiet. I'm gonna like go tell the cops.
What if you get caught?
What if you like?
I'm gonna get caught if I told someone.
No,
so you're
but
not gonna
it's a
tell
mistake.
anybody.
Oh, if it's a mistake.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, you didn't do it on purpose. Like
Oh.
you. It's like finding that the bank sent you like an extra $10,000 instead of like $100.
Yeah, would you be like, yo, Billy, I don't know if this is legit or not, but I randomly have like $10,000
No,
in my
man.
bank account?
I'm so honest.
So you'll
That
tell.
I'd report because I don't want to get caught after. Because I know I'll go to jail for a long time if I get
Yeah.
caught. Because technically I know something,
not yours.
something's wrong. And if I use that funds, and I know it's not mine, I'll get in shit for it.
There was that Asian girl in the UK who had like millions and millions of dollars in her account or something like that, and she was spending all on like
Oh
these-
yeah, I
luxury
remember that.
items.
That was so dumb.
Yeah, and then they when they finally discovered it, they arrested her for it, and she's like, well, I don't know where this money came from. It was in my bank account, right?
Yeah. So she
But-
pleaded stupid, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're gonna get penalized for it because you know it's not yours. You shouldn't be
Justified
using it.
enrichment. Because there was also another case. I guess there were these people that they knew how to press in a certain code on the ATM machines.
You get money.
So the machine will think it's dispensing $5 bills when it's actually 20.
Wow.
So I think after that guy was done with it, other people also went to the machine, start withdrawing,
Oh, wait, a claim
like
that.
without knowing, right? But then they'll look at the money and be like, okay.
Wow.
I don't know how many people actually did before someone actually reported, right?
Yeah. Well.
So, in regards to these kind of things, it's more of a digital trail.
Yeah.
Say, for example, you put yourself in a situation where you found a briefcase of money.
oh yeah.
cash.
Man, that's gone. That's mine
Yeah.
for sure. I'm booking it.
I think I would do the same thing.
You let's say you found $100 on the street,
Yeah.
on the street.
Yeah.
I think I'll bring it to the police station.
No.
And be
No,
like,
man, that's
I found a
crazy.
lost $100 bill.
Yeah.
Would you?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, because cash value is different, right? But a briefcase is a whole different story. 'Cause-
Briefcase of money.
Yeah, because the first thing I was thinking about is someone pranking me. That's the first thing I would think about. Is this? Am I being recorded? And is this a prank to see how greedy I am?
No, man, it's a sting, man.
I think I would take the money out of the briefcase because I feel like it's probably tracked or there's some kind of bomb in it.
You know what you
Something
do?
attached to it.
You go to the casino, and then you change all the bills right there at the casino, play for a little bit, and then cash out with new clean bills.
You've thought about this.
No,
eh?
I watched the
you get
movie.
tracked. No, you could get tracked
Really?
because if you're changing that big amount of money,
Do it
you
slowly.
need to have a membership.
Do it slowly.
Slowly would be like $100 at a time.
How much money?
No,
are we
if you go to
talking about?
casino, you can do like $1,000 or something.
Yeah.
No, then you'll need to have a membership
Oh,
because
alright.
they'll take your card and be like, yo, this
Really?
person.
Oh,
yeah.
so you can't launder money.
Like even when you're at the table and you're changing money, the guy that's watching over those tables will ask you for your card.
Yeah,
to
Wayne
put in
knows.
the system.
Clearly, I don't gamble.
Yeah, clearly you did nothing. Wayne thought it through.
I saw this through something. I don't know where it was, but
That's very interesting. I think I would. Yeah. Okay. So how much money are we talking about first? Because it matters.
2.5 million.
Whoa.
Why
shit, that's a lot.
2.5?
2.5 million is a lot.
It just
Okay,
popped in my head.
Yeah. In a briefcase, 2.5 million. Oh man, I don't know what
Okay,
to do. That's a
in
lot.
$5 bills, so it's really heavy.
That I'm just walking.
that's like a duffel
Yeah,
bag.
that's just asking for trouble. Oh man, that's very tricky. I feel like if you give so it's 2.5 million. If you give even $50,000, spread it across many people, then it'll be very hard to track. And then with the other remaining amount, then you start chunking that up into different.
No, you
things.
know what? what makes it really hard, because if you want to put it in a bank, anything over 10,000, they're gonna ask you where you got this money from.
Mm-hmm.
Like even when after I got married, I had a whole bunch of checks, right? I deposited that. So where'd you get all this money from? From my wedding, because luckily it's labeled on all the checks,
Right.
right? Because I guess it's just what anti-money fraud or whatever.
Right.
So fuck, it's so hard to smuggle money.
You gotta start like a nail salon, a
Yeah,
pho restaurant.
you gotta get a
something.
Chinese
Graphics-
supermarket.
Graphics design
You
company.
might, you know what? Just be smart and buy a couple of Tim Hortons. You'll make so much money off of Tim Hortons. You could buy like 2.5 million, but you could buy at least 5 Tim Hortons.
I think 2. It's a 1 million to.
It's 1 million now.
Yeah, I checked
What
it
the
up
fuck?
once.
I thought it was 500,000.
No, 1 million.
Damn.
10 million for McDonald's. I looked it up.
10 million for McDonald's.
Holy, McDonald's is crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. What about you, Gloria? What would you do with the money if you found like 2.5 million in cash?
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah. If I don't need the money,
No one needs 2.5 million.
but if I truly don't need the money, I kind of want to go up on a tall building and just dump the bills onto the street.
Like Robin Hood.
And see what people do. I just want to see people.
Oh man, you're a cruel person. It sounded
Just
so
go for
nice
each other.
and so generous until you said, "And see what people do." See how they gouge each other's eyeballs out.
Exactly.
And you're not even gonna fan it out like make it rain. You're gonna throw like bricks on the whole brick.
He's like a $5 bill here, a cinder block here.
From like a skyscraper, so when it hits somebody in the head, they get knocked out too.
What about if you like? Okay, what about if you needed the money though? If you like, how would you strategically?
Why
kind
do
of
you need
use it?
2.5 million?
Everyone needs 2.5 million.
Are you like really deep with the loan sharks or something?
No, but then you can like you can do some good stuff.
Too many hookers?
No, you can like buy houses. You can buy your friends' houses. Stuff. Like
You
that.
don't need money
I'm
to
not
buy
buying no
several
friends,
houses.
no houses.
No, you don't want to
You
buy
don't
your friends'
deserve no
houses.
houses for me.
You don't want to buy me a house.
No, but I might open up your graphics design company.
Open a graphic. That's too much work. I'm already tired. I don't want to do more work.
No, it's just the front.
Oh yeah. Ooh.
What we do with it afterwards?
That's
who
true.
knows?
We do it afterwards. Buy me a house. That's what we do with it afterwards.
Maybe you buy yourself a house.
Yeah. Then I'll buy you a house.
What is this bromance? Oh my god.
You gotta launder money.
Just
okay?
scheming.
Best way to launder money is open a Chinese supermarket with Billy's people.
Oh yeah. True.
Because that's the
Chinese
way back.
supermarket.
No, your people specifically.
Yeah, I know.
Because back then it's always your people.
Yeah.
It still is.
Yeah, it still is.
No, but all of
Fujianese.
Billy's people are rich now, so you can't use their people anymore.
Everyone like the rich people have like supermarkets, sushi restaurants, construction companies. Man, they're like just launder the crap
Construction companies are definitely money laundering too.
out of that. Yeah, because they like buy resources.
Yes.
You know.
And they convert houses into grow ops. But going back to our original story, there's also a similar story, kind of related to this, where involving our transit system, the TDC, where they were caught involved doing insurance fraud. So basically, they're like claiming their benefits for cash, like cashing in all their benefits.
I can't relate to that.
Huh?
No, nothing. Go on.
So they're using I think the reason why they got caught is because all of these people were going to the same person to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But it wouldn't make sense to go to the same person to do it, though, wouldn't it?
Because you trust that person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause if
Well,
keep
you know
going to
that
different-
guy's doing it, but at the same time, it gets suspicious because like
No, but at most that guy just gets blacklisted, right? Because if you try different people, there's gonna be one that's gonna be a snitch, right? Right, Billy?
No.
But if you're all going to the same person and then you get caught, every single one of you is pretty much going to be going to have a criminal record.
So you think you should spread out?
Yeah,
course.
you gotta diversify your portfolio, man. Come on, people.
None of those people were Asian.
Oh.
Asian people, never mind. I'm not going to go into that, but
we have no comment on this matter on a personal level.
anyways, yeah, it's kind of interesting because insurance is it's pretty crazy. Like the simplest things that you do just for a little bit of extra cash is gonna hit you with like a criminal record, and it's like, is it really worth it at the end of the day?
Yeah. So what was the repercussion of all these people? What
They're
happened?
gonna get arrested for sure. How long they're gonna be in jail? Who knows, right? I think
How much money did they say?
millions, definitely millions.
Millions.
Yeah, because there's at least 73 TDC employees at the time that it was reported, so there could be more too.
Yeah.
right?
Okay, that makes sense because I'm wondering like, okay, so if a random guy just does like 500 here, 500 there, right?
And it's over multiple years, so it's not like just all of a
It's
sudden
not
they
that
just
much.
figured it out, right?
Wait,
So
which insurance
Multiple years is
company?
not that bad.
I don't know what insurance company it is, but it was the TDC that was the employees were doing insurance fraud on their employee benefits. Yeah, it's really interesting. It's like
They should have just got paid out for their benefits instead of taking the benefits then, right? If they just wanted extra stuff, like just give me.
Maybe that wasn't an option, right?
Oh, that's true. Some companies don't offer that.
Yeah. Fucking, there was also a case in Vancouver, like, because you need to pay a premium for health benefits in Vancouver. You know how we have free benefits? Vancouver, there's paid benefits that all the citizens have to pay. It's like a few hundred a year. So I think there's with this one family that tried to avoid it, which was like for them maybe 800 a year. Finally got busted, and they were fined few $100,000.
But they got a few million?
What? No, they just avoided paying 800 a year.
Oh, 800? Oh
Yeah.
my god.
So, to penalize them, they were fined like few $100,000.
That's crazy.
But it makes sense. The penalties got to be more than what they were saving, or else everyone would be doing it. But it's just too bad they got caught. They weren't smart about it.
But I think one of the good things to take away from this is that because so many people are suspended or whatever from TDC, I think they're going to be hiring. If anybody needs a job. I think they pay pretty well.
Oh, yeah.
TDC is definitely a good place to work. It's
Yeah.
like it's one of those companies that you want to retire there because they're unionized.
Yeah.
Actually, on that, I want to know what you guys think about unionized jobs because, like, the TDC is unionized. There's a lot of like big companies that people want to work for that are unionized, but they only want to work there because they're unionized, and you can be as lazy as you want and
Yeah.
you never get fired.
It's nice if you are in the union,
Yeah.
but otherwise, I don't know. I don't really like it.
I personally hate unions. But the point of having unions is to protect them from unfair employers, right?
This is what the Italian mafia did. That's exactly what it is. Unions. It's what mafias did. They like scammed people into like, oh, you need to do this and this for me, and then I'll get you, your success or whatever. And people said that what's his name, Elvis Presley was part of it too, right? Or no, not Elvis Presley. Frank Sinatra. He got famous because the Italian mafia helped him get famous.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you gotta side with the union basically because
What?
they're an unstoppable force.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, you're their slave, right?
Yeah.
You belong to them.
Yeah, but okay, like actually like bringing it back to the union because most people when they're in this situation, they just do nothing. Like they're not a slave to anybody. They just sit there and because the people who are enforcing the union are people in the union, right? So it self benefits themselves to increase the amount of laziness,
Right.
to kind of make sure they do less and less work, right?
Yeah.
And speaking of that, the Frank Sinatra reference, you guys watched the movie Godfather?
Nope.
First one.
You did, right? So remember that guy that was a singer?
Yeah.
And yeah, he was supposed to be the Frank Sinatra comparison or whatever. Yeah. Anyways, moving on.
You know what really interests me on one of Dan's article?
Another local
Students pretending to make
article?
crystal meth
Mississauga.
in Mississauga, apparently. So, like, what's going on here? So, it's not even them actually making crystal meth. It's I'm guessing it's a drama teacher. They tried to do a skit, but they had no good ideas. So the teacher apparently said, pretending to make crystal meth is pretty good, so let's do it.
He gave them instructions on how to cook crystal meth.
I thought it was just a skit, no?
I don't know. It probably was.
Because from
But-
what I read, it's just a skit of pretending to make crystal meth.
I don't know how to make crystal meth.
And you
so-
No, what I don't
you made this
understand-
woman
no.
sounds terrible. That's
What
what
I
you
don't
just did.
understand is why is there the permission slip to send home the parents to see if they can pretend to make crystal meth?
So here's step 1 in the instructions, okay? This is titled Now for Injecting. Give your arms a wipe with alcohol wipes, what I use in brackets, or use a wet wipe. This is to prevent any bacteria infection.
Wow.
Do you know what I call this? Inspiration. Because it's for a drama class. If the students don't know what they're doing, how can they act the part out, right?
Yeah, that's a very gray
So, like-
area. Holy, that is very
Laura,
tricky.
do you see a problem with this?
Well, for sure it's a problem, but I
Why?
think,
Why?
you know what? I don't think the teacher thought he did anything wrong because he sent the permission slip to the parents.
I don't even know
So-
why the permission slips were even there in the first place, to be honest.
So obviously, I think he thought everything's fine.
Yeah, or else you wouldn't have the balls to go
Yeah.
get approval for it.
Yeah.
But oh man,
What if-
the instructions are very specific on how to
Yes.
use it.
Even to the point of injecting it. Into
Yeah.
yourself. You know, like people. Even
Because
if
you
you
know
were
why?
to
Because
give.
if the students went to audition and try to sniff it, he'll be like, "Get out! That's not how you do crystal meth."
Yeah.
Wait, can you sniff crystal meth?
I don't know how.
Yeah, I don't. It
I don't
comes
know
in
what
crystals, so
crystal
you have to
meth
melt
is.
it down
I think
with
you just
spoon.
smoke it or something. Like
Yeah,
that.
because
yeah.
from Breaking Bad,
No.
it's just a pipe, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, but
Yeah. You can. I think you can.
so what's the issue here? Is,
We're not drug addicts.
Are they? Do they think if they're gonna act it out, they're gonna become meth heads?
Wait, hold on. You said Breaking Bad, right?
Yeah.
I've never watched the show, but do you think because of that TV show, people think, and the new one, Narcotic or something?
Narcos.
Narcos?
Yeah.
Cocaine.
That people think it's
yeah.
okay now to bring this subject into school and teach the kids? Because in popular media, everyone's broadcasting about it.
But grade 8 shouldn't be watching those shows anyways. There's like an age restriction.
Oh,
right?
really?
Come on.
People
If you're
follow
grade
it.
Come on.
eight, You're really not going to watch it?
You have bad parents if you are watching it.
That's very interesting because like there is that sensationalizing of drugs, but it can either go like two ways. It can either desensitize them to
Yeah.
that act, or it can make them want to
Familiarize
do it.
them
Yeah,
with it. You know what?
so it's very tricky where it goes.
Every day, like all these kids are I don't want to say influenced. They're what's the word? Exposed to all this different crap outside. What do you expect the kids to do now? Live in a bubble? You can't have them live in a bubble. This is just another thing they have to face.
So wait, put yourself in this situation where what if your kid was in this class? How would you react to that?
Do the best you can. Act that shit out.
Take that needle, put it in your veins,
Like
and
you
bleed.
better get that fucking part.
And win
Right?
me an Oscar.
Yeah, I don't.
Like okay, because if you're gonna say that's gonna influence them to be meth heads, so all those shows that they're gonna watch on the Cartoon Network, are you gonna expect them to put like a blaster on their arm and start shooting Care Bears left and right? Well, that's probably not the show nowadays, but yeah, you get my gist, right?
I'm not sure about Care Bears, but if you show them a real TV series where people are doing that, don't you think they might get influenced by that? And
I hope not, or else I would have been like shooting people left and right.
Well, that's why there's age restrictions on things, right? So that kids aren't.
Billy,
exposed to
really?
it. No, I'm saying that's the reason why there are, because people have thought about it and decided that kids are influenced.
You know what? Regarding age restrictions, when you were younger and wanted to buy that game that says teen only, did anyone ever stop you?
But your parents
From buying?
didn't know shit.
No, I'm not saying that your parents buying for it. Let's say you went to buy it yourself. I don't think no one would stop the sale, right? Like whoever's selling the game.
They're supposed to.
They're supposed to, but that doesn't happen.
Well, I never had the money to buy it myself, so.
And you know what? One of the most popular games in the past decade was it GTA.
Sure.
You don't see people like jacking cars and prostituting hookers and
It
shit.
happens all the time.
Not as much as you think, right?
Yeah, but to say that it doesn't have any effect is very light on the scenario, right? Like, because even if one kid gets influenced by it, that's enough for it to that it should change, right? Because, so.
But how are you gonna prove that influenced the kids? What if the kid already smoked crack?
Yeah, but the fact that
being
you can.
exposed to this?
Yeah, I know, but the fact that you can prove it or not, if the kid gets influenced by it, then that's what matters, right?
So you as a parent, if your kid was in this class and stuff like that, how would you talk to your kid to rationalize with them?
Do the part don't smoke meth. Because what if a kid goes to chemistry class, they realize they can make all these type of chemicals for fun, and then someone actually just said to them, "Oh, that's how meth is made," and then they did whatever they can to do the research.
Yeah.
Because they're so studious.
I think this is what you should do, Wayne. First, maybe you should think about whether or not having a child is the right decision.
Or whatever, Bill.
But what I would do personally is I would explain to my kid that, there's a difference between fiction and reality, right? Or I guess, was it nonfiction? Whatever. There's a difference between...
Fiction and reality.
Yeah, so...
Non-fiction is reality.
Fiction is fake.
Yeah,
Fiction's
so okay. So there's a difference between fiction and reality, and that something that is acted out might not necessarily be even though when you're acting it out, it might be fun, it might be hilarious, you and your friends might be having a good time, and you might relate that to the act of doing the drug, but that is in a fictional sense, right? And in real life, this is what happens. Like, and then I would explain to them that people get addicted, they lose touch with their family, and these are the results of real life happening. This
You're
is
gonna scar them with pictures of people that.
no, I don't
take
think I
meth?
would unless that was necessary. But I would like clearly describe that they're like this is not just one thing, right? This is more complicated than that. Instead of telling them to go act it out and do your best.
Well, I'm assuming after all the like during the play,
Yeah.
that entire experience with meth would be like would be part of the play where there's that all the downside to it, right? I'm sure the play's not gonna be like they're not gonna glorify meth unless you're a
But
drug
like I mean, all it takes is to increase the intrigue of the kids on that subject, right?
Yeah,
Where-
they could get curious about it and they
Yeah.
want to know more.
And if they don't handle it properly, where they just say like, "Oh yeah, you're just having fun with your friends, just goofing around," and then one of your friends one time's like, "Oh, remember that play we did back in the day? Like, has anyone ever actually tried it? Has anyone ever like done something like?" And then it can go like, "Oh, this person did this drug, this person did that drug," and then like, "Oh, why don't we ask this person about more experiences?" And then it can like get carried away, right? Like it might not necessarily always lead to meth,
Yeah.
but then it can get carried away to
like
something.
I get what you're saying, really, but even when we were as a kid, we the way we played, like with other kids, I'm sure we were like playing like gunfire because we had cap guns when we were kids. That didn't influence us in the future. Well, I don't know about you guys. Did you guys like shoot up anyone?
No, but I mean, like you gotta think about how it's influencing you, right? Like, cause we're in a good scenario in life, right?
Yeah.
Where we don't live in a violent place.
Yeah. No, but what I'm saying is, I would like to believe that kids are a lot smarter nowadays.
I think
So when they see shit like this, they'll understand. Yeah, it is fake. They're not. They know they're not gonna be smoking meth. They know it's a play, and this is it's their objective because there's a role that they have to play, right? And they know it's a drama class, so nothing should be real.
yeah, but that's informational, right? Like that's not like because you can take something and grow with it, right? Like it doesn't have to directly
Yeah,
influence
but
you,
then if that's the
indirectly.
case, then like every single play that they have to do is about being a doctor and a lawyer, which is no one's gonna watch.
So, Gloria, you were shaking your head in disagreement when Wayne said that kids these days should be smarter or something.
Oh, no. Well, no.
Or
If
kids
we're
these days
just
are
talking
smarter.
about parenting in this case, I'm gonna say no on that permission slip, and I can foresee other parents saying no on that permission slip. So what will end up happening is they're not gonna have that play. There's no way. You can tell from that news. So those group of kids are gonna get together. They're gonna Google what it is because now their interest, it's piqued by this play, and then they'll find out anyway. So I'll say no on that permission slip. I'll show him the clip of the entire process, or her, my kid,
So more him than her. Then I see.
of the entire process, and I'll explain it to him and show him the pictures
Or
of
her.
the
Yeah, or we gotta mention her.
of the consequence, and hopefully that will cure the curiosity.
Yeah, I think being
Wait,
an
wait.
active parent is very
There's
important.
a missing information though. How old are these kids?
Grade 8.
Are they
Middle
grade 8?
school.
Yeah.
They're
middle
smart
school.
enough.
I
Oh,
don't
like-
know.
What?
I don't know though.
I don't know, Wayne, man. You can't
No,
let.
the way I see kids, they're a lot smarter nowadays compared to back then. I'm not saying kids back then were dumb, but because they experienced a lot more earlier on. They know about a lot of stuff.
But I don't think it's being smart or not. It's just being curious. When
Or
you're a
exposed.
kid, you want to know those things.
Yeah, kids are just. They also just don't know what is right or wrong, like because they just think that things are always gray and they want to explore, right? And I'm like not to say to be a helicopter parent
Yeah.
where you always look over your kids, make sure their search engine and blah blah
Yeah.
blah is not like bad, but you have to nurture your kids in a general direction, right? Like because if they're gonna start asking questions about like drugs and stuff, at
Yeah.
least you want to be the one that tells them like your opinion and your answer on it, or for them to respect your answer on it, so that when they do get more confused, they at least come back to you and be like, these are what the kids are saying at my age. Like, is this correct or wrong, right? Like, maybe your kid won't do that, maybe they will, but at least, like, the hope that they will engage you in that process.
Yeah,
would
you
be-
want to make sure that you do your due diligence to do whatever you can
Yeah,
to prevent them from.
yeah. Because you can't be like,
going
hey,
in the wrong
fucker,
direction.
listen to what I have to say, right? But you can at least influence them to do that.
Back to your point about that drama class, about doctors and lawyers
Yes.
versus this meth addict. So sometimes I think the reason why kids are just drawn to bad stuff like drugs, drinking, sex is because when they get information from adults, they get it from the media too, but when they get information from adults, we sound bored when we talk about good stuff like doctors, lawyers, math, homework. And we just unconsciously sound more excited when we talk about other stuff.
Yeah.
No, I
drugs.
just said doctors and lawyers because that's what every Asian parent wants their kids to be.
And they sound bored telling me to do it.
Oh man!
And the thing
they'll
is-
be like, when you become a doctor, you make a lot of money.
A lot of people too is like when you tell them not to do something,
Yeah.
they're more intrigued about wanting to do it. Like even I'm gonna bring this back to basketball. When Michael Jordan had his first pair of shoes, the Air Jordans, they were banned because at that time the dress code was like you either had to have black shoes or white shoes.
But
And his
Air Jordans came in
shoes-
black.
Yes, the thing is his shoes were red and black and white.
Yeah.
And those first pair of Air Jordans were he wasn't supposed to be wearing them because it wasn't part of the dress code, and he ended up getting fined for it. And the thing that Nike did was like, you know what, we're gonna use this as a way to promote the shoes,
Yeah.
and we're gonna pay for the fine every time you wear the shoes to the game, you're gonna get a fine. We're gonna pay for it,
Yeah.
and now we're gonna be like, this shoe is banned in the NBA because it makes you that damn good, right? And that was a great marketing ploy because that is the most iconic shoe in the world, I would say, right? And again, it's because of the fact that it was banned and not allowed, everyone wanted it. And I think that's the same with just drugs in general right now. Like,
Yeah.
even when we looked at probation, when alcohol was banned, everyone wanted alcohol.
Yeah.
Right now, people still want alcohol, but the illegal substances are what's crazy right now,
Yeah.
what's high in demand. And even though it costs so much money, don't ask me how I know, but that's what people want.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? You guys are right. I take everything back.
No, but what,
But you
wait,
have some points.
but what Gloria was saying though about like not what you say, but how you say certain things to kids actually does matter a lot.
Yes.
Because so if you're a parent who's really stressed and you're trying your best to kind of show your kids that this life is a good life, but kids can see your emotions, right? They see your face, they see how stressed you are. They're gonna take working as a kind of like a bad stigma, right?
Yeah.
Or alternatively, they can take that and be like, I gotta work hard for my parents, right? But then that determines how you kind of raise your kid, how you handle the
like
situation.
the values that you instill into
Yeah.
them.
Do you acknowledge that yes, life is very stressful for me? I want you to have a less stressful life, which is why I'm taking on stress. Then the kid will learn the values of hard work, right?
Yeah.
Versus, I'm stressed. Yeah. Like, oh God, I'm stressed, and then
Because the
like,
opposite of those kids are entitled kids, and I hate.
yeah,
those.
and then they just brush off their kids, right? And their kids don't
Yeah.
know the value of the hard work that their parents have.
Yeah,
because
it's
their
like
parents never tell them.
they because those type of kids, they just believe everything is handed to them, and they grow up with that, right?
Yeah.
Until they
Right.
realize not everything's handed to them.
Yeah.
But they'll still keep that mentality
Yeah, because
and think the world's against them.
they relate
Like
they relate hard work to abandonment, right?
Yeah.
Because their parents takes all of that effort, and then they're too tired to hang out with their kids. So then kids relate that together, and bam, you have a spoiled kid, right? Or you have a kid that's very rebellious. You have no idea why they're rebellious, right? Because kids want the attention from their parents.
That's true.
Yeah. So Wade,
Mhm.
think about your kids.
Oh yeah, no, you guys are all right. Yeah.
Yeah.
When my kids come, fuck.
Is it daughter or
Oh,
son?
daughter, hell yeah.
Oh yeah. So Wayne, please tell us about your soon-to-be family. Like, what do you think? Like, because this is your first kid, so
Yep.
What are you envisioning your life to be before and after your kid?
No, you know what? I'm gonna have a baby girl,
Mm-hmm.
and fuck, so much.
Well, why do you think they're fun?
Oh, I just don't want. I don't want to have a boy as my first kid
Why?
because it's gross.
Wayne has a very strong opinion about this. He said he really wanted a baby girl.
Yes. Like everyone was actually very surprised.
Yeah,
Everyone's against
I
me.
was very surprised. You
Everyone's
said
against
that.
me when they said I'm gonna have a boy. I'm like, no, it's gonna be a girl. Fuck y'all, right? Because I guess it's the connection fathers have with the daughters normally a lot.
So you're just greedy. You just don't want your wife to have a better
You know
connection.
what? But it's like that everyone. When we were looking for clothes,
Yeah.
there's always for girls' clothes. There's always daddy and me or whatever. There's barely any clothes that like make reference to the mother, right? Until you go to boy clothes, right?
It's not true for not my dad. I'm
real?
closer with my mom.
Your dad hates you.
No, my dad is like a male version of me, so
Middle version.
a male
male.
version.
Oh,
of
male
me.
version.
So we're very similar. We're too similar to get along very well.
So you're probably very stubborn then in some ways then?
You know her dad?
No, I'm just saying. Like,
What the hell did you draw?
because for two people to conflict with each other, they have to be very strong opinioned, right? So when you're telling them, because her personality might be the same, but their
don't-
opinions can be very different.
It doesn't sound like she's like there's conflict between them. It's just not as much
Commonality.
attachment or
Yeah, it's not conflict per se. It's more like we can sit there and not say anything to each other for a long time.
Maybe
Whereas
because
my
you guys
mom-
know understand each
Whereas
other.
my mom's so talkative
Yeah.
that she just spices things up, and you get entertained by her.
Oh, I
Do
see.
you like to talk?
No.
No,
Then-
because she's clearly like her dad. Because the mom's like, that's why the mom
No,
and
then
the dad are dating.
Wouldn't you be sitting across your dad and just nod at each other, be like, we understand each other?
it's like telepathy.
That's what I would
Well,
think.
no, sometimes we do that, but
Really? Yo,
you
that's
don't
trippy.
get attached to someone that way.
Oh.
Yeah, you build admiration and respect for them.
So Wayne, I have a question for you. The way that you're gonna raise your daughter, are you gonna take this new approach that a lot of people have and like kind of let her do her own thing, or are you gonna be a little bit old-fashioned and try to push her in the girly route?
Oh, no. No girly route for
You're gonna
me.
move on her.
She's gonna be tomboy.
Yeah. Everything I'm buying right now, they're all neutral.
But what if she's naturally girly?
I hope not.
Oh damn!
What if
It's like I'm trying, like if I'm gonna do the best of my abilities to like not let her know about the color pink, like hot pink,
Why don't you want her
or
to be
princess.
girly?
No, I don't mind her being. I don't want her to be like I want to be a princess.
you don't want her to be to think that she has to be like that?
Okay.
You know what I mean?
You don't want her to think that
Yeah,
that's the way that girls are supposed to be.
yeah, exactly. Right.
You just want her to be
Because
herself.
I find there's a lot of girls out there. There's a little girl. I'm not gonna mention her name. Long time ago, she cried because I told her she can't be a princess. And then she's like, "I want to be a princess." I was so frustrated, and
just
I
don't
don't
want
want this to happen with my daughter.
Yeah.
I want her to grow up like having like experience everything in life, and not just think she has to do exactly that because she's a girl.
But what
You
if?
don't want
okay,
her to be
okay, hold on.
conditioned.
Yeah.
But what if having the princess phase develops them in a meaningful way, and then now because you're pulling that away from her,
How
she doesn't
do you
have that.
possibly make that meaningful?
I don't know, like 'cause
Billy-
it's phases.
But like, have you had a niece or anything, or a little girl that you were around? It's very frustrating when they want to be a princess.
I know it's frustrating for you as the adult,
You-
but what if for them? Okay, it's gonna be a big stretch to kind of connect it together. But okay, so if you grow up with like trying to like give them the middle ground of everything, right? They don't have the extreme perspective of I want to be a princess, I want to be passionate about this one thing, and you're then not giving that to them because of your personal choice to influence them.
Right.
No, but
I
if
don't-
they choose to be a princess, I think
You'll be okay.
Wayne
with it.
wouldn't care. But he wants to
'Cause-
also expose them to other options.
I'm
yeah,
I'm
that's
not
definitely
gonna
good.
like take away all the like whatever a child should experience, right? Like little kitty play toys or whatever. Like even like right now, my theme is elephant because apparently that's a theme everywhere. Like
Okay.
little elephant toys or whatever. She'll get plenty of that, but princess stuff, I will not push her into that direction.
Yeah.
Like if she goes to that direction because of other influences that can't be helped,
You mean
then I don't have a choice.
influences that you will try to persuade away from? I feel.
Yeah.
What about her aunts and uncles who are like trying to get her gifts and stuff like that, and they keep going to that princess route because
They're-
they know she's a
Yeah,
girl?
yeah,
So
exactly. It's hard.
after saying that, there's gonna be a review committee
A review committee.
that
Okay.
consists of me.
Okay, that's good. At least
Yeah,
you'll
they'll
be-
have to come to me like, nope. Like
Yeah,
even
refund that
because we
shit.
got a lot of hand-me-downs, right? And then pretty much the clothes I took out was any hot pink and anything with princesses on it, right? Because
I have a feeling she's gonna be so girly.
Yeah, it's gonna be so
Yeah.
ironic. It's gonna be
Yeah.
hilarious.
I'll be like,
I'm
why did this happen?
gonna influence her to be so girly.
I'm gonna have the meme of Jackie Chan, like
That is my goal in life. Until I have my own kids, is to influence your child to be super girly, just to spite you.
no, because I think if she's not a girl, like we could still be relatable when she gets older. When
Let's
she gets too
flip
girly, then there's gonna be transition to just a mother, right? Like there's only things
No,
she can.
that's not true.
Because I'm not gonna be able to put on her makeup unless I learn. I can
But-
do her hair.
No, I don't think that's why girls get attached to their dad though. Not because their dad can connect with them on a girly level.
Yeah, I think the dad just needs to listen. You just gotta learn to
You just
listen.
have to buy her
damn.
stuff.
What?
Buy her stuff when she wants something. Because the mom's gonna say no. That's when you step in.
I got. I need to try to do that too. I got make sure she knows that I don't have money.
Yeah.
Okay, let's flip the script around a little bit. What if you did have a boy on the way? Would you?
No. Because we did 3 ultrasound, and the lady told me these are the lips.
I know, but hypothetical.
That's
Hypothetical.
gross.
Wait.
That's gross, Wayne. Please don't say that.
No, it was so weird. Okay, it's like so we
Please.
need to do gender determination. Right?
You know what you just did? I was like imagining it, and then you said the word lips. And I imagined
you know,
it
I was
in
as
my
shocked-
mind.
Billy,
Why?
I was just shocked as you. Okay, so we were doing gender determination. So the lady's just like, oh, so these are the lips. I'm like,
Ah, stop saying that.
I was like, I don't see the face. Right?
Those are terrible choice of words.
You think you're the only one? I was confused when she said that to me.
Why are you gonna do that to us? Like,
But where's the nose?
Yeah, so I'm like,
oh
yo,
my
I don't
god,
see it.
it's terrible.
Right? And then she's like, the lippy. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I was like, oh.
But yeah, it's confirmed.
Okay, but say if you did have a boy,
Yeah.
would you do the same thing where you would not let them have all these like boy type things?
Nope.
You would make them a boy?
Nope. You know,
Would you give them
there's
princess
what's
stuff?
it called? Discrimination? No, not discrimination.
Sexist?
Double-edged sword? No. Sexist? Yes.
Double standard.
Exactly. Yeah, double standard.
There you go, double standard after 3 tries.
But yeah, I don't know.
So you're gonna let the boy be a boy and be like, hey, here's the guns and stuff.
It
Play some sports.
No, it's like it is. There's a double standard, you know, because like when you think about when a girl goes into society, if she acts tomboyish, it's still she won't have any problems. Like it's still good, right? No, she has to be a princess. Is that why you're shaking your head, Gloria?
Oh, that reminds me. So my dad kind of taught me that
Yeah.
to not be too feminine.
Yeah. Now, I'm not saying not be too feminine. I'm just saying it's okay if they go either way. But for boys, it's just so rough being a boy nowadays. Like if they're too feminine as a boy, they do get excluded a lot of times, right? That's the only thing.
Well, okay, I just want to say back to the girl. Don't make her too tomboyish because there's something about girls.
I'm not gonna give her a
crying-
buzz cut or
There's
nothing.
something about girls crying
Yeah.
that can be effective, and if she never used that in society, she's losing out a certain technique.
Crying.
She gotta use her
Like
assets.
she has to look a bit weak. And
So I should shake her more often to make her cry.
No, you don't
No.
shake babies.
That's interesting.
Shaking babies?
No, the strategy of use
crying?
all the arsenal you got in order to
Yeah.
succeed in whatever you gotta do.
Of course,
You
don't
mean-
always use that, but
Yeah.
you need to have that in the back of your mind to if you ever need it.
I think a lot of girls these days realize that realize the power they have as a woman, just based on like Twitch streamers. They know how to use
What's
their
that?
like girls that stream video games and stuff like that, and these like cam models and stuff. They know how to use their assets to make the most out of themselves. I'm just saying.
When Dan says assets, he meant titties and ass.
If I was a girl and I looked hot as shit, like I would use it to my full potential. Like you can make so much money doing this so easily. It's not even work.
You know what movie reminds me of that? Was it Freaky Friday? The one with Rob Schneider where he becomes a girl, and then he becomes like a stripper.
What?
Anyways, go on, Dad.
I don't know. That's what I was saying. But like, it's so easy to make money as a girl. But at the same time, like, if I had a daughter, that's what I would fear at the same time.
You know what you said about more feminine?
Mhm.
I think that's okay
People like no, I don't.
because I feel
Feminine's
like
fine.
I'm more feminine than masculine in terms of like how I grew up, and I think
Yeah,
I was
but you're
okay.
such a girl.
Like in terms of like I was raised basically by my mom and my sisters, so I was raised very very feminine in terms of like I don't need to like prove to other guys that I'm bigger, faster, stronger, all
Yeah.
that stereotypical masculine stuff, right? Because I didn't care. Because it like I saw the value that this was just very macho and silly at a very early age. It's not like I was excluded and isolated. There's just such a diverse set of people you can meet now that you don't really need to hang out with those people. We don't relate to them, right?
So because you were surrounded by females your entire life, mostly,
Mhm.
do you feel like you have a special understanding of women?
I think I guess so. Because I could clearly see that like those more masculine kind of guys it's very meatheady, right? Where you have a strong opinion and you stick to that strong opinion because everyone else has that strong opinion, right? So it's very easy to give into peer pressure. But not all of them are like that. Like just there's like a mob mentality that occurs, right? So it's actually very good to kind of be a little isolated when you're younger, so you can actually think clearly instead of thinking with the mob, right?
Do you? You've been surrounded by women growing up.
Yeah, I have like a shitload of cousins. Like, just on my mom's side, I have probably 20 plus cousins, and I would say 95% of them are female.
Mm-hmm.
Even on my dad's side, same thing. Most of them are female. And it's kind of interesting, and they range from all different ages. Like, some of them are like 40 plus years old, and some of them were just born last year, right? So, based on that, and all the experiences I've had with all these different age women, I feel like I've experienced a lot, and I can kind of understand some of the craziness that goes on in a woman's head, but some of it is still a mystery, you know? Like, sometimes you just never understand that shit.
I think that's just people. You just can't understand people sometimes. I don't think that's gender specific, because some guys are pretty crazy, some girls are pretty crazy, so it's just people.
But for myself personally, it's definitely made me very patient with women. So I like just know not to talk sometimes. Just listen.
When you said patient, what I just imagined is waiting for them to get ready. And I hate that. I have become so impatient with waiting for people to get ready that it's like it almost instantaneously makes me angry, like thinking about it. Like, the amount of times I've waited is like, oh my god.
How long do you guys take to get ready?
I take like
Shower included.
like 15,
Half an
20
hour.
minutes.
Shower included?
Yeah.
What?
Like brushing teeth?
Yeah, 15, 20 minutes. I can get ready.
I think 30 minutes for me.
Because I
20
wake
to
up at
30.
6 a.m. and then I go back to bed at 6:20. No, 20 minutes.
Yeah, right?
No problem.
You can do everything in the shower almost.
Well, I don't do that. Wait, what are you thinking about? I'm just talking about brushing my teeth in the shower. I don't brush my teeth in there.
I think Dan means he's probably pees in the shower. That's what he's trying to say.
Yeah, you gotta make the most your time as efficient as possible. Okay.
I even have time to go on 9 gag.
Well,
In that
getting
time.
ready? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, what about you, though, Gloria? How long do you take to get ready, then?
40 minutes.
Oh, that's pretty reasonable. That's pretty good.
You gonna tell your girlfriend that?
No.
That you should, like, try to do a 40-minute, like, get ready?
Well, she's gonna listen to the podcast.
I just, like, mentally prepare myself, schedule it ahead of time, and try to do other stuff.
Why don't you try to tell her you look good without makeup and any preparation? You're naturally beautiful.
I just be like, hurry the hell up, man. Like, like, just hurry up, like.
But isn't a makeup thing sometimes not about him and it's about her and how she feels
yeah.
about herself?
So that's true. I do think girls dress up and put on makeup not for guys, but for other girls to compete with them. So I think at a very young age we start to look at girls. I think girls look at girls on the street more than they look at guys, just to see what dress she's wearing, what body type she has.
Girls check out other girls more than guys.
Exactly. So
Girls are more attractive.
that's true. So I think they dress up for other girls most likely.
Interesting.
But if you really drill it in her head that she's gorgeous naturally, then I think she'll spend less time
That's
doing
what I'm
that.
trying to do.
You
That's
should
what you're trying to do.
experiment.
Yeah.
Does your wife doesn't wear a lot of makeup, does she?
She doesn't wear any.
Yeah, she doesn't wear any at all.
So that's fine.
How
She has
long does she take?
self-esteem issues
What?
around other girls?
What do you mean?
Because you said that's what you're trying to do.
Oh, for my own daughter?
Oh, for your
Oh,
own daughter. I thought
daughter.
you meant your
Okay.
wife.
Oh, no.
So you're gonna tell your daughter to never wear makeup or try
No,
to
that she
influence
doesn't
her?
need it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good way.
That's
Yeah.
empowering, Billy.
Oh, yeah.
Shit, that's something right tonight.
Like, yeah, it is. But what if they get isolated?
What do you mean?
It's because those bitches are ugly. That's why.
Yeah.
She don't need to be surrounded by
Oh,
negativity.
it's true. Tell her that. Because my mom was
That
gorgeous.
bitches are ugly.
That too.
Great parenting advice from Wayne.
I can see you doing that. But my mom was a beauty, and she was isolated all the time. Girls hated her.
Oh yeah.
Because
Yeah,
she
pretty girls
didn't
are-
wear
are
makeup?
hated.
And
She
still
didn't wear
fit-
makeup, and she's naturally pretty. I should say she is a beauty. Sorry, mom.
Nice.
She was a beauty. All right, guys. Thanks for listening to this week's podcast. Please like us on Facebook, like us on YouTube, leave a comment, subscribe, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and do everything you can to share.
Is it Facebook?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
All right. Anyways, that is all for this week. Tthanks.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Laters. Oh, sorry, Gloria.
It's
Later.
alright. Bye, guys.